Hello, everyone. This is the weekly review from November 16th to November 24th in Human Geography and Early World History. Our four-class focus during that week was on dependability. That was our executive functioning skill. We moved from that to from positive relationships. So we reviewed the responses to the previous exit ticket on positive relationships prior to filling out the exit ticket on dependability. We talked about the expansion and consolidation of the Han Dynasty, the first empire that we talked about, the first classical empire in our unit on classical civilizations of the classical period. We focused on the expansion or growth of the Han Dynasty, talking about Han Wudi, the martial emperor, or warlike emperor, and the internal struggles he had within the empire against a group known as the Xiongnu. We also talked about the consolidation of that empire, or the strengthening, where they internally promoted a Confucian educational system and a patriarchal social order. We did an Ed puzzle that compared the Qin and the Han Dynasty, asking questions and thinking about things like bringing forward the transition from the Qin to the Han Dynasty and applying it to the transition that we're seeing in our own country as there's going to be a presidential change. So we were thinking about like how the Han Dynasty maintained some of the Qin policies and also eliminated some of the Qin policies, and we were applying it to if future President Biden, what policies will he maintain from the previous administration and which ones will he eliminate? We did a writing prompt. We are continuing to do a writing prompt that will prepare us for the essay summative for Unit 3. We discussed 3 advances made during the classical era and how they met civilization's needs and how they impacted society in both Han China and classical India. Some examples would be the wheelbarrow being invented at Han China, and for classical India, it would be the advent of the concept of the number 0. We also discussed the origins as well as the growth and expansion of major religions in classical India, including Jainism, Buddhism, and Hinduism. And we engaged in a group math exercise. You went into breakout rooms and analyzed data tables that represented the distribution of populations based on religion. You thought about what they had in common and what the differences were between the various charts. And you also had to analyze what you weren't seeing in the charts, trying to come up with a theory or a hypothesis based on what the charts weren't showing you. Then we talked about the Mauryan and Gupta empires in South India. Your goal was to be able to describe the growth of South Asian political development. So we reviewed both the origins and the growth of both of these empires. What's coming up next? We'll be finishing the first formative assessment for the classical period and continuing our exploration of Unit 3 for the classical period using Ed Puzzle and Pear Deck. We'll be exploring Greek and Roman civilizations. That's it. Take care.